Axion. So in this video we're going to do a big catch up on all the action that's happened since the last video and the last couple of days. Let's get into it. Here we are on the Axion testnet and it looks absolutely awesome. And so here's the daylight one and the nighttime one. I think we can both appreciate that it's pretty fantastic. So let's get into all the news. First of all, we were waiting for the audit from Certik, and that came through and it was really great. So I'll leave the link to this below and you can have a read through it. It's got a lot of technical stuff. Basically there were 70 issues found, one major issue which was a double up, and so all these things would have been addressed and the team is ready to go. So I'll leave those for you below. Just really terrific, and you can see all those issues here and the status that they had. So there was a medium issue and so forth. So you can see all the issues. That were 70 of them. Most of them informational. The major one was the double payout, logical issues, so they would have fixed that up. There's a tick there. So all ready to go. Fantastic. So we won't spend too much more time on that. What's next up? Next up is that that a vote is currently on. So it's final time, and this is on the Discord, so I'll leave a link to that below. And the mainnet vote is now on. Here are the options available based on the recommendations of the developers. Remember, the developers are talking about 5 days after all the clear. As always, keep the emojis only for the voting emojis, so that was pretty cool. So we got late Sunday night America time, Monday morning Europe. Okay, so that's November the 1st to 2nd, which is around the time that I was been saying in my videos, which was quite neat. But that's the logical outcome based on the information we had. Two, late Monday night America time, Tuesday morning Europe, the 2nd or 3rd, and late Tuesday night America time, Wednesday morning Europe, 3rd or 4th. And you can see that for the first option, the first and second, we got 914. Second option we got 46. Third option we got 32. I believe this is still ongoing, so I'll leave the link to that below if you want to vote. But it looks a pretty overwhelming response to do the 1st and 2nd of November. So that's the time. That looks almost locked in. We'll wait for official announcement, but that's hugely exciting, and I think you guys can all appreciate it. So that voting is under proposals, bounties on Discord. Fantastic. So let's have a quick look at the price. We can see that the price is busting that 0003 line. It's done it a couple of times. Very exciting pre-launch. And of course, it's all set up. It just holds around here for launch to really bolt away, as opposed to a sell-off, because people were moving to get more to stake and get all the benefits. So the benefits are, just to recap, the auction, 80% of the ETH will be used to do market buys, supporting the price, and also distributing the Axion to stakers. There will be penalties that stakers will get, interest that stakers will get, and of course the big paydays, one each year for the next 5 years, and increasing percentage. So it starts at 10%, huge, and of course the calculation is complex, so you've got to be in it to win it. So really fantastic incentives to drive value over time. So let's have a look. We're currently on the 29th of October, so you're looking at 30th, 31st, and then the 1st or 2nd, depending on where you live in the world, America or Europe. So that looks like when we got the launch, and we've got, just highlight that in green, and there we are, launch time with this arrow. So we're only a couple of days away, folks. It's hugely exciting, and let's have a look. Also, on the back of this price at 0003, Hex broke 1 cent. Look at this here. This is the 1 cent mark. Let me just pull that up. Here is the 1 cent mark, and Hex broke that. Fantastic. So looks like it's going to keep going up, and it's still 18 days away from the big payday on Hex, sorry, 20 days away from the big payday on Hex, and 18 days left of the AA lobby, which will put further buying pressure onto Uniswap and other markets. So that looks bold as well for Hex2T. Let's have a quick look at the last update. This just came out about 10 minutes ago. As we draw near to the launch of Axion mainnet, the time for us to onboard up to 200,000 Hex token holders draws near. This is an incredibly pivotal moment for Axion. Currently with over 8,000 token holders and steadily rising, our market cap is $80 million US. More holders bring more exposure, which in turn brings more value and more organic awareness of the network. All of these factors combine to result and positive price action, which is a leading goal for everyone here. To be able to be effectively onboard these 200,000 people, we need to unify as a community that harbours positivity, openness, receptivity and camaraderie. We want to make sure that all communication with the Hex community is done in good spirits and never in a confrontational manner. This is not a competition of Axion versus Hex. Both Axion and Hex can collectively succeed. People do not have to choose between one, and they can be part of both, obviously. Richard Hart is an incredibly smart guy. We don't think anyone can say otherwise. In fact, Axion system is modelled after his creation of Hex. Of course, Axion has made alterations to various aspects of the Hex ecosystem. Some of those things I just said, mainly the auction, 80% of the Ethereum, 80% of the Ethereum in the auction to go and do market buys and redistribute the Axion to holders. They can be part of both. In fact, Axion system is modelled after its creation. Of course, Axion has made alterations to various aspects of the Hex ecosystem. That does not say that we feel ours is better. Axion is simply different, and that's what I've always been saying too. So it's going to be an exciting time, especially if you're on both of these projects. Key differences from Axion to Hex. 80% of the ETH spent in the auctions immediately and automatically goes to token buybacks off to open market on Uniswap. These tokens are then all distributed to stakers, so it's a very important thing to know if you're getting into Axion. All late claim and early withdrawal penalties go to the auction, which in turn benefits the stakers. By buybacks, no penalties are sent to the origin address, which is what happens in Hex. Big payday is split over 5 years. Harsher early unstake penalties. If you unstake early, you can also lose your initial principal. That's super important to know. The auction has a minimum price per X share. The price is negative 10% of the weekly average, or circa 10% of the weekly average. All auction purchases are auto-staked for 14 days to prevent arbitrage. That's really a great feature. The community votes on all decisions rather than being decided by a single entity or person, as we saw in the launch vote. All expenses, revenue, transactions are transparently marked for everyone to see. Inflation rate of Axion is 8% per year, as opposed to Hex, which is 3.69. Common questions from Hex holders. Is this a fork? Axion is not a fork, as none of the Hex code was used in building Axion. Axion was built from scratch. Axion uses many systems that Hex uses, but this is not a fork. Is this audited? Yes, of course. This has 3 code audits now, which is similar to Hex, but I think Hex has got 3 different companies. One is the economic audit. 2 of which are viewable on the Axion.network website, and 2 economic audits, one of which is viewable on the Axion.network website. Audits were performed by some of the most reputable audit companies in the space, Hacken and Certik. Is the team public or anonymous? The dev team, Rock and Block, is fully public. You can find them on their website at Rock and Block. So let's have a lift this up a bit more. The PR market team, Giant Digital, is also fully public. You can look at there. So there's going to be massive marketing after launch. That's awesome. There's so much to come, guys. It's really great. Maintaining a feeling of camaraderie and synergy with the Hex community will do Axion infinitely more good and launch with a good feeling. We are not attempting to flip Hex or poach their users. We are simply launching our own ecosystem that uses some of their well thought out mechanics. As a community, we should all encourage each other to speak about Hex, Richard Hart, and the Hex community in a positive light, both in our channels and other forms of 4chain. This is an ample amount of room for both projects to succeed. So I hope you enjoyed that. Huge time. We are so close. We're talking 3 days. It looks pretty epic to me. Hope you enjoyed this one. Please subscribe, like, and share, and hit the bell notifications. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.